start tonight with that tentative peace agreement between the U.S. and Iran. Talk you through the Memorandum of Understanding, as it's called. And there are 14 points, issues, if you will, included. It starts with U.S., Iran, and their allies agreeing to immediately end all military operations. It also reaffirms the regime shall not procure or develop nuclear weapons and reopens the Strait of Hormuz. That's a big one, right? Where ships, including oil tankers, are once again moving through. Okay, so let's cut to the chase. How soon can we see a drop in prices at the pump? Here's the man who helped broker the deal, the Vice President, J.D. Vance.
I think you're going to see a substantial reduction in gas prices. I'm not going to predict the exact price. If I was able to do that, I might be in a different business than politics. But we do think you're going to see significant relief at the pump on top of what we've already seen.
So this all comes on something called Dump the Pump Day, a day where drivers are encouraged to ditch the car and take public transit, avoiding having to look at this as we squint and we squirm as the numbers climb. Yeah, it's been crazy. So we used the peace deal to piece together an in-depth look at gas prices, because it has been kind of a crazy year when it comes to gas prices, right? Let's go find Steve Large. He's out field anchoring our coverage tonight from Sacramento. I hand the pump over to him because, Steve, you're squeezing out all sorts of interesting angles to this gas price dilemma.
And Tony, what a great backdrop for this Dump the Pump coverage. We're standing in front of these huge fuel tanks, and then in the background you have I-5 as well. These huge fuel tanks are where the tanker trucks go to get their gas to deliver to the the pump inside that CBS 13 studio that you're standing in front of. So let's begin here with our coverage on where those prices stand right now. In Sacramento, the average is $5.66 a gallon for regular. In Stockton, you'll pay $5.52 a gallon. In Modesto, $5.61 a gallon. And today, by the way, for the first time since March, the national average fell just below $4 a gallon before ticking up by about a penny. Now, there are a lot of things that go into why we pay so much at the pump. Let's get into them here. The war in Iran has obviously had a huge influence with the closure of the Strait of Hormuz impacting supply. Here's also the closure of the Phillips 66 refinery in LA, as well as the Valero Benicia refinery. And we're also using that summer blend right now, which costs more to produce because it requires a more complex refining process. It keeps the fuel from evaporating in those hot summertime temperatures, which can cut down on pollution and smog. So with all that, on this Dump the Pump Day coverage, what is being done to try and get gas prices down? California's high gas prices predicament.
How do we fix this problem?
I don't think you can.
California's closing refineries, increasing gas taxes, now taking a backseat to the impact of the war in Iran, now entering a new peace agreement.
California does have problems with its gasoline market, but the changes since the beginning of the war are problems that are pretty much out of our control.
UC Berkeley energy expert Severin Bornstein says with the military conflict entering a new phase of diplomacy, California needs to monitor its refinery maintenance right now to avoid further price spikes.
I would say the biggest risk will be in the next 6 to 9 months as we try to get from here to a point where we have more capacity for imports and for storage. But that is something that the state really needs to be pushing on.
Withholding fuel from the market is not a great idea.
Jody Mueller is the president of the Western States Petroleum Association and says she believes California is moving towards a policy that would force refineries to create minimum storage requirements aimed at reducing price spikes. She's opposed to it.
So if you are taking further supply out of the marketplace while the demand stays the same, you could potentially see a disruption again when it comes to pricing.
I mean, how dumb do we want to continue to be?
In 2023, Governor Gavin Newsom created a new watchdog agency called the Division of Petroleum Market Oversight to monitor California gas prices. The agency's most recent report detailed the massive gap between branded and unbranded gasoline at 31 cents a gallon in California compared to just 7 cents a gallon nationwide. Still, Bornstein says the new state agency does not have the manpower to accomplish its mission.
The entire operating staff of DPMO is 9 people.
California gas prices
rising costs, and rising criticism.
And you can expect to see those conversations about California requiring minimum storage levels of gas refineries over the next couple of months. We'll be following that one. And just a few weeks, July 1st, the state gas tax will actually increase by 2 cents a gallon, going from 61 to 63 cents. So that's 63 cents a gallon. That is part of the price we're all paying at the pump. And for those of you with diesel, the tax increase is going up about a penny and a half to just more than 48 cents a gallon. Now, of course, a lot of people used to drive diesel vehicles because diesel was the cheaper option at one point, but that really has not been the case for the last 20 years. So what changed? We looked into this. According to the U.S. Energy Information Administration, there are a few factors. First, demand from places like Europe, China, and India. Second, the environment. The move to make diesel more eco-friendly affects production and distribution costs. Lastly, the federal excise tax, which is 6 cents higher than a gallon of regular gasoline. No matter what you are filling up with, whether it's regular or diesel, Uber drivers and Door Dashers, all gig workers in particular, definitely feeling it right now.
Yeah, it's very hard to start with these gas prices. They're pretty hard. They're more difficult than I expected.
Well, the increase in gas prices means less profit for gig workers, of course. Many we spoke with said they are accepting orders that are shorter trips in order to avoid burning through so much fuel. Talking about burning through fuel, we're going to talk about super commuters here. Some people work so far away from home, people driving 90 plus miles one way. It's becoming a more and more common thing. Again, they're called super commuters, and California has the most in the country. Charlie Lapastor went along for a ride with one man that's become the norm for so many.
Lee Sartain starts his car and his days early.
This is technically my office.
Lee is a business owner and
absolutely, make it on in, let's go.
Super commuter. He travels from El Dorado Hills to the Bay Area, spending 25 hours on the road every week.
I like to have a lot of close contact with my customers. I like to do a lot of FaceTime, which being on the road is an absolute necessity.
Lee picks me up at 7 a.m. at a Starbucks in Lathrop, getting himself a little fuel for a day of driving.
This is my best friend right here. This is what I rely on a daily basis.
First stop, his new Stockton brick and mortar, strategically placed between the Bay Area and Sacramento.
So we're stopping off here. I'm getting a packing slip for materials that I picked up in Sacramento today. Gotta get gas. This is, again.
Oh, speaking of gas.
Speaking of gas, here we go. We're on you.
Before heading over the Altamont, Lee makes his first stop at the pump.
We're probably looking at about 120, 130, maybe more right now. But I do that sometimes twice a day.
With a full tank, we buckle up again and are headed for San Francisco.
Yeah. Hey, Aaron, I got a full disclosure. I have CBS Channel 13 News in the car.
During the long commute, Lee takes phone calls from his team and clients, some of whom are super commuters themselves.
We have half the workforce in the Bay Area that we do in Sacramento, and we make twice the money.
There's a reason why people live up where we live, because cost of living in the Bay Area is just too high. Flooring is a trade. This is a face-to-face, hands-on, this is built with your hands industry. And that, to me, deserves that face-to-face contact. Hey, I can't do what I do.
After 2 hours and 20 minutes, we make it to the city, where Lee shakes hands after dropping off equipment. Next up, San Jose, stopping to see some clients after an almost hour drive. Then it's time for lunch. Sandwiches, to go, of course. Now to Lee's Santa Clara location, where we meet his manager, Mo. Lee has allowed him to set his schedule early, too. So Mo isn't stuck in traffic.
That's the reason I come to work. Because work facilitates me spending time with my kid without having to go, oh, let me get this side gig, let me do... No. I want to do this, so then I can go home and spend time with my kid.
I don't want to spend my life on the road. Matter of fact, we're going to wrap our sandwiches up because it's just after 1 o'clock.
Our last stop, picking up a check from a customer in Livermore. Lee has been driving his business forward after almost losing everything just a few months ago.
You can't change the past, but you can change today, which will have a positive effect on the future. The amount of hours that I've spent in this type of vehicle, the trucks over the years, like, it's not for everybody.
And all of this driving is for his family.
It's scary, spending most of your time on the road going back and forth.
The further he traveled, the more his business grew. It's been quite a journey.
He's got to do what he's got to do, you know, so there's nothing I can really do about it. I like that he's a hard worker.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a little tear in my eye, but I appreciate you saying that's why I do what I do. Buddy, I love you. I'll see you when you get home, okay?
Coming home after 1,500 miles a week on the road, but hey, at least he beat traffic.
Mission accomplished.
Every super commuter can relate to that.
100%.
Wow, what an interesting look at those super commuters. Those seats need to be so comfortable for those long rides. As we mentioned, California, home to the most super commuters in the country. A recent University of Pacific study found that in neighboring San Joaquin County, 1 in 10 commuters travels 90 minutes or more, pardon me, each way for work. Well, here's something you may not have expected. Gas prices are causing beer sales to fizzle. Nielsen data shows beer, malt beverage, and cider sales declined at convenience stores and gas stations, especially in states with the highest gas prices like California. There is a twist.
Convenience seems to be the most impacted channel for beer sales, and part of that is because maybe people have a part of their budget that they would otherwise spend on beer, but they've spent that at the gas pump. They decide maybe they're not going to go into the store. But still, you know, we see people protecting occasions in other ways where they're going out to bars and restaurants and still finding times to socialize and have a beer with other people.
Who would have thought? So while packaged beer sales are down, the Beer Institute, yes, there is one, tells CBS 13 beer sales in bars and restaurants are actually rising. But for those people that might go into that convenience store at the gas station, apparently they're just not buying beer at the same numbers as they used to. So the ripple effects of high gas prices, Tony.
Yeah, it stopped me from buying a lotto ticket the other day. I just pumped in a whole bunch of money in my gas tank. I'm like, I'm going to not get that $5 lotto ticket. So maybe it's having that ripple effect as well.
1 more gallon of gas for you.
There you go. Steve, thank you. The entire team out there, appreciate it. We'll hear more from you on this topic as we continue here at 5. But we